starting off today, we chose the theme of perspectives on sustainability because we were kind of playing with a clean energy focus at first. And Graham, Alec, and I were talking and playing through kind of how we wanted the conversation to be framed. And it was, I think, honestly, one of our trickiest to decide how we wanted to frame things and explore it, that clean energy is quite specific, whereas perspectives on sustainability, we felt brings in a human component. So just the ideas of like, okay, solar power, how do we feel about it? How are you seeing it actually translated into your communities? Are people psyched on it there? Are they not? And so to kind of play through the kind of those raw emotions that come with each of your work, and as well as sustainability in general. So that is the basic idea for our conversation today. And then I'll have you go around and do a quick little intro of who you are, where you are, and your personal connection to sustainability, and then we'll dive on in. So my clock here, I got Hugo. You're my guinea pig.
Awesome. Thanks, Will. Yeah, I'm Hugo. I come from really not in a small French island of Madagascar. I moved to San Francisco 1 year ago. For Demi, the other one really knows me, but I'm the roommate of Graham and Ali. I'm just on the other room actually next to them. I studied mechanical engineering and then focused on trying to do projects that could have a positive environmental impact. And recently I founded a company with a friend to develop a process to reduce CO2 emission from cement. So right now we are in the lab trying to make that happen. And I'm really stoked to be here with you guys and share more.
Yeah, super excited to hear more about that. Demi, got you next.
So I'm Demi. I work for a renewable energy developer called Invenergy, based out of Chicago. I myself am based out of Denver, but I've been working on utility scale developments in Oklahoma, mostly focused on wind projects, but also solar as well. And Invenergy also dabbles in storage and natural gas plants. So I'm happy to talk today with everybody about renewables, and especially coming from a large scale perspective, really excited to bring that into the conversation.
Beautiful. Thanks, Demi. Vlad.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Vlad. I'm also from France, although mainland France, unlike Hugo. We actually went to school together back in France for a couple of years, and it's funny that we both live in the Bay Area right now, working on sustainability. So I started with mechanical engineering like Hugo, and then I switched to environmental science for a master's here. And I'm now working on wastewater treatment and trying to bring from the lab to full scale processes that emit less CO2, consume less energy, and hopefully produce byproducts that we can use for other things. So a lot of exciting stuff. Happy to be here.
Cool. And then Aaron. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah. So like Hugo, I also study mechanical engineering. And like Demi, I also work in the utility scale energy space. I've spent the first part of my career trying to make things that I thought were bad a little bit less bad. And about a year and a half ago, I switched from making things less bad to trying to make things a bit more good. So I work at a utility scale solar tracker company called Sunfolding. And we make a pneumatically driven solar actuator that basically just tilts solar panels at the sun all day. So super excited to be here with a lot of people who are working in different areas and in similar areas. And it's exciting also to be with so many people kind of like of my generation and to think about how we're all dedicating a lot of our life to working on this, because if we don't do it, it's just not going to happen. So thanks everyone for the work that you do.
And voila, we'll just wrap it up with that positive note. That was great.
Yeah, great.
No, that's honestly, Aaron, that's a really kind of a fun note to start off with, because Demi and I actually met in Iceland. Kind of sounds dramatic, but we were doing a study abroad there together with a renewable energy and resource economics focus. And Demi, do you know how many people in that program actually stuck with it? I think a decent number.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have stayed, especially in the sustainability sphere. But I mean, we have a few people who work for smaller scale solar companies and definitely in efficiency. So it's great to see. I mean, I felt left in Iceland feeling super inspired that, you know, anything could come to fruition of a country like Iceland that runs, you know, over 90% on renewable energy. We look at it, I think, state by state, obviously. So it's great to see communities feel inspired by places like Iceland, and to bring that to the United States, I think, is definitely achievable.
Yeah, it's super cool, because I mean, the ability for young people to bring that energy and push it forwards. I mean, that's something that I'm not in the space, and I know like that activism and having that kind of that focus on helping the planet, it takes a certain kind of person. And so like the four of you here, I'm really curious, how did you get into it? Like Hugo, what made you interested in clean cement?
Yeah, that's a good question. Cement, I didn't think I would like cement ever. I just, at the end of my master, wanted to do something great for the environment or communities. I didn't really know. I was really into plastic in the ocean as I grew up on an island, but somehow didn't found a project in pee and poop. So I just stick with that. Went to build some toilet that could basically be like autonomous in water and electricity for developing countries. And I really like this environment, got tried like learn a bunch of new skill and new technologies, and met like my co-founder who we developed some processes together for hydrogen, which is, we use kind of the same technology as the toilet, but we just made different compounds. We made hydrogen instead of making some kind of bleach or things that could like eat the matter. And then how we got into cement, we were trying to find something that could have a really large impact. And the way our hydrogen technology was done, we were having a byproduct as sulfuric acid. So like having two products is kind of a problem, especially when one of the product has a much smaller market size than the other. It was not like a solution that could really develop hydrogen and give hydrogen to a lot of people, and hopefully hydrogen with that would be clean. So we were trying to find something that would be much bigger than sulfuric acid, like a byproduct that could be extremely big. So the other thing is like water, of course, is the thing that is most used on the planet. Cement is the second thing. So we're trying to find how we could get into cement, and we just look at the history of how cement was made. We look at what people are doing right now. We looked at how we can integrate sulfuric acid into cement processes and all those kind of things. And somehow we ended up finding this process where we could co-generate cement and hydrogen. And then we started from there, and we're still like a really early stage. We are in the lab making little powders of cement, so it's like really nothing for now. But the processes work, so now we just need to scale up and go from grams of cement, little powders, to kilograms, and then go from there. And yeah, I didn't really realize how big was cement in terms of CO2 emissions. So like cement is, if it was a country, it would be like the third most emitter in the world. Like it's more emitting than India. It's like the equivalent 8%, so that's really big. I never thought about that. Also, steel, aluminum, all those kind of things are in the same area. Those kind of like emissions that we don't really think of, but are actually really, really polluting. So yeah, I'm just happy I got into that space where I think there's a lot of work to do in order to reduce CO2 emissions, for sure.